You mentioned something that I think I'd just like to highlight, which is the effect of I think you mentioned 3 or 4 sirtuins that are so important for mitochondrial health.
Yeah.
And if we think about longevity and one of the main targets for enhancing longevity and health span, improving ATP production and the use of ATP by the mitochondria, which are the engines of our cells, is a very simple way of thinking, how do I improve my longevity? I need to improve the production and use of ATP in my mitochondria, right?
That is correct.
And so the sirtuins targeting that, it makes a ton of sense to me. And again, in my simple brain of understanding longevity. But if for Estee Lauder, right, the sirtuin activating technology, as you mentioned, we're not just kind of applying sirtuins to the skin. We're trying to make the skin produce its own sirtuins and act like younger cells. And that technology is called Sirtivity LP. What differentiates this technology? I'm sure there are others in this space, but what differentiates Sirtivity LP from others?
So in a ballpark, Sirtivity LP is what? We are not adding sirtuins. We are actually helping skin cells to produce that longevity protein, which goes missing as we age or when we expose skin cells to different exposomes. So that's the uniqueness of this technology. We are helping skin cells to produce their own longevity protein. Now, what differentiates us from the others is, if you look at the longevity space, it's based on 3 pillars. One is sirtuins, other one is AMPK, and TOR signaling, which is very famous in the longevity space.
Right. TOR, say like mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin. Yes.
But if you take a step back, mTOR and AMPK, these are important players in longevity. They play a role in nutrient sensing, they play a role in cell growth, but they never go missing in old cells. They're always there. They're just dysfunction or they're humming in the background. What happens with Sirtuin, which is the third pillar of this whole longevity platform, is they just go vanish. And our research has been focused on restructure or reactivating this or putting that Sirtuin back where it was missing so that a old cell behave like a young. And our technology has shown that when we take the old cell, when we use our LP technology, we can functionally make them younger.
You know, when I'm listening to you, and we've been talking about longevity, but we're also harnessing the cell's ability to repair and renew itself, which is regenerative.
Yeah.
So we're targeting both regenerative aspects and longevity with this technology, which really does make it unique. I'm not aware of any other sirtuin activating technology out there. I'm sure there is, I'm just not aware of it, but this is really compelling. As you look towards the future of longevity-focused skincare, what excites you the most?
I think we are seeing a big paradigm shift here. Like earlier, if you look at cosmetics in general, it was all about improving lines and wrinkles. But now consumers are more educated. They want to understand what is the mechanism, why is this happening to them? And they really don't want to work on repair anymore. They want to proactively stop that from happening. That's how you will see a big change in this whole space. We are also collaborating with experts like Stanford Center on Longevity, where we are trying to understand aging or whole aging in a holistic way, how lifestyle impacts it, social connection. It's a newly added hallmarks of aging, like how it is impacting your perseverance of aging. And then we also collaborate with experts like Danica Chen from UC Berkeley, where we are trying to understand the impact of Sirtuin's metabolism on skin aging. And so I see a very big shift from just talking about lines and wrinkles to more of a hallmarks of aging, mechanism of action, how to prevent that from happening. There is a big shift from perception.
Rishabh, I'm nodding because I just had a conversation with the skincare company talking about endpoints in clinical trials.
Yes.
And how with the longevity and or regenerative space, we need to stop just looking at clinical endpoints, fine lines, wrinkles, sallowness, radiance, hydration. There are so many more molecular, epigenetic, cellular hallmark or endpoints that we really need to be using. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you're talking about. I'm wholly on board with that. And I think that's where we need to push all of skincare to move towards.